Welcome to Whispering Cabins, where we share cozy horror tales of ghosts, folklore, and forgotten places. So grab a blanket, light a candle, and settle in. The night is waiting. Tonight, we begin with a tale called The Lantern in the Window. On the edge of a quiet forest stood an old cabin, abandoned for as long as anyone in the nearby village could remember. Its windows were cracked, its roof sagged with age, and yet, every autumn night, a faint lantern light flickered in the upstairs window. No one dared to go near it. Not hunters, not travelers, not even children on dares. They said the cabin belonged to Eliza Harrow, a seamstress who lived there a century ago. Some whispered she had been kind and generous, always sewing clothes for neighbors. Others swore she made garments stitched with secrets, patterns that trapped the grief and anger of those who wore them. When she died one winter, alone and with no family, her body was carried out by strangers. Yet on the very next night, the lantern in the window began to glow, and it has glowed every autumn since. One evening, a weary traveler named Simon was making his way through the forest. The sky was heavy with clouds, and the chill of October pressed against his coat. When the first drops of rain fell, he spotted the cabin through the trees. The villagers had warned him not to stop there, but he was tired, and the promise of a roof, even a broken one, was enough. As he stepped closer, he noticed the light. A lantern, burning steady in the upstairs window. He told himself it must be an illusion, reflected lightning, or perhaps a prank. But as he pushed open the creaking door, the smell of cedar and candle wax filled his nose. The air inside was not cold, but comfortably warm, as if a fire had just gone out. Simon found the lantern sitting neatly on a windowsill upstairs, its flame flickering without smoke or oil, and beside it lay a folded shawl draped across the wood. It looked freshly sewn, the thread still shining silver in the light. Curious and chilled to the bone, Simon wrapped the shawl around his shoulders. At once, he felt a strange comfort, as though unseen hands had tucked him in. His eyes grew heavy, and before long, he drifted into sleep. But as he dreamed, he saw Eliza herself. She stood at a sewing table, her hands working tirelessly, needle flashing in the lamplight. She looked up at him with tired eyes and whispered, "Stay. I keep the cold away." When Simon woke, the lantern was gone. The shawl was gone. The cabin was dark and crumbling again, as if no one had touched it in years. He stumbled outside into the morning light, unsure if he had dreamed the whole night. Back in the village, he tried to tell his story, but as he lifted his coat, he saw the silver thread still clinging to his sleeve, glinting faintly in the sun. No one believed him, of course, yet every autumn since, Simon swore he could feel the warmth of the shawl around his shoulders whenever the lantern flickered in that lonely window. And so the legend lives on. The lantern, the seamstress, and the shawl stitched with comfort, and perhaps something more. Thank you for joining us tonight at Whispering Cabins, where we tell cozy horror tales. If you enjoyed The Lantern in the Window, be sure to subscribe for more eerie stories. Until next time, keep warm, keep the lantern lit, and listen closely. Sometimes the shadows have stories to tell,